morning, School of Light. Let's hop into First Chronicles chapter 22. Then David said, the house of the Lord is to be here, and also at the altar of the burnt offering for Israel. So David gave orders to assemble the aliens living in Israel. From among them, he had appointed stonecutters to prepare dressed stone for building the house of the God. He provided a large amount of iron to make nails for the doors of the gateways, for the fittings, and for the bronze that could be weighted. He also provided more cedar logs than could be counted, for the Sidonians and Tyrians had brought large numbers of them to David. David said, "My son Solomon is young and inexperienced, and the house to be built for the Lord should be of great magnificence and fame and splendor in the sight of all the nations. Therefore, I'll make preparations for it." So David made extensive preparations before his death. Then he called for his son Solomon and charged him to build a house for the Lord, the God of Israel. David said to Solomon, "My son, I had it in my heart to build a house for the name of the Lord my God. But this word of the Lord came to me. You have shed much blood and have fought many wars. You are not to build a house for my name, because you have shed much blood upon the earth and in my sight. But you will have a son who will be a man of peace and rest, and I will give him rest from all of his enemies on every side. His name will be Solomon, and I will grant Israel peace and quiet during his reign. He is the one who will build a house for my name. He will be my son, I will be his father, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. Now, my son, the Lord be with you, and may you have success and build the house of the Lord your God, as he said you would. May the Lord give you discretion and understanding when he puts you in command over Israel, so that you may keep the law of the Lord your God. Then you will have success. If you are careful to observe the decrees and laws the Lord gave Moses for Israel, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. I have taken great pains to provide for the temple of the Lord 100,000 talents of gold, 1,000,000 talents of silver, quantities of bronze and iron too great to be weighed, and wood and stone, and you may add to them. You have many workmen, stonecutters, masons, carpenters, as well as men skilled in every kind of work in gold, silver, bronze, and iron, craftsmen beyond number. Now begin the work, and let the Lord be with you." Then David ordered all the leaders of Israel to help his son Solomon. He said to them, Is not the Lord your God with you? And has he not granted rest on every side? For he has handed the inhabitants of the land over to me, and the land is subject to the Lord and to his people. Now devote your heart and soul to seeking the Lord your God. Begin to build the sanctuary of the Lord, so that you may bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord and the sacred articles belonging to God into the temple that will be built for the name of the Lord. This part right here stuck out the most because David represents a successful life in the way that we should have our lives ordered when we go to battle. Every life's going to have a battle, right? So this part right here is, he said to them, is it not the Lord your God with you? And has he not granted you rest on every side? For he has handed over the inhabitants of the land over to me, and the land is subject to the Lord and his people. So a successful David, instead of being influenced by the people around him, he influenced the people around him, and the inhabitants of sorts were handed over to David, and the land was subject to God because of that, and to his people. This part, now devote your heart and soul to seeking the Lord your God. Yes, very wise. Begin to build a sanctuary of the Lord your God, so you may bring back the ark of the covenant of the Lord and the sacred articles belong to God in the temple. So, our life, the battles, be victorious like David, make subject those that have tried to oppress you. Seek God. Devote your heart and soul to seeking him. And preparations. David was preparing for Solomon. What are we doing to prepare for our children that follow us? What are we doing to prepare our disciples or our spiritual disciples who are we, or those who we might be mentoring, what are we leaving preparations for them? Leave preparations. Prepare. God bless.